Hi everyone, Kevin here at Face for Radio, Voice for Print. I don't know if any of you have seen this CNN story with Musk and his his booger eating brat uh, uh, in the Oval Office, an unelected, unconfirmed, unvetted immigrant from South Africa with ties to Nazism through his parents and also backing the German AfD, along with other far right wing political movements. Now, I'm going to play this. I want you guys just to listen to what he's saying, and we're going to go over it as it goes. All right?
At a high level, if you say what is the goal of Doge and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, okay, we would have to, if you sorry.
Yeah, hilarious. We brought our little toddler who's picking his nose and wiping his boogers on the Resolute desk. Fantastic. Smart guys.
So, tell you, gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If if there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy have?
All right, let's go over that statement. Elon Musk is the biggest bureaucrat in American history, maybe in world history. He's talking about getting rid of a bureaucracy, and he's the bureaucrat. How does that work, number one? Number two, the bureaucracy he's talking about is our institutions. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. Oh, God. The Consumer Protection Board. Is that right? CBO? Whatever that is. The people who keep you from getting ripped off from your credit cards, scammers, fraudsters, like the president and Elon Musk. Scammers and fraudsters. Sold that coin right before the inauguration. Emoluments clause. Done. It's over. He's not president. Incited an insurrection on January 6, 2021. Took no responsibility for his people attacking the Capitol. Sorry.
Actually have. If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large, unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but
he keeps talking about this like the bureaucracy isn't what runs everything, so we as states don't have to. We don't have the money. We don't have the income, the tax income. We don't have any of that. This is a federal state. This is a republic. Bureaucracies are sort of part and in hand with that. But what happens when you bring in billionaires to run a country? They want to run the country like a company. Companies, you don't have to worry about all of the intricacies of a society. Marginalized workers, LGBTQ, women. All of this falls under DEI as well. I mean, I asked somebody if they actually knew what the letters DEI stood for. They didn't know. diversity, equality, and inclusion isn't just for the minorities. This is for everyone. Now they want to say that, you know, DEI is making you hire people that are less qualified. That isn't what happens. That's not how it goes. It's to make sure that they get the right people. And that some white guy with no experience, the guy right there on the screen, you see him, but well, both of them as far as that is, like the little brat's more useful than those two. Those two right there are simple profit whores. That's all it is, you guys. This isn't a rocket science class that I'm leading here. This is just simple civics, simple economics. You know, I was taught in economics class even in high school. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. And there's not. Somebody's got to pay for it in a capitalistic society. Now, these guys want the billionaires to have their lunch for free. Does that sound right to you?
But you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to
this guy talking about autonomous and putting in AI to help with FAA and the Treasury and all this stuff with these 23-year-old kids that already were fired for selling information to other companies. What's to stop them from selling information to other countries? Nothing, if we allow this to go on.
To the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at this, if you looked at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has...
It's called Doge, you Doge bag. That's exactly what's happening. That's the bureaucracy that's cutting off Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. Your pharmacy costs are going to skyrocket. You guys don't see this yet, but it's going to happen. I've been saying this now for 10 years, and this specifically for months ahead of the election, and y'all didn't listen.
Has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And
did you hear that? The bureaucracy has more power than any elected representative. Mr. Trump, Mr. Musk, you're right about that, because you have more power than anyone in the government has ever had. Getting into the Treasury's trillions, I think, may have screwed you.
This is not something that people want than any elected representative. Bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it does not match the will of the people. So it's...
No, because the will of the people don't want you fucking shit up inside of our government. You're not even American. You're South African. And now this goddamn Trump wants to allow visas to go to South Africa because they feel that they're being oppressed. Can you imagine white people in South Africa after apartheid think they're being oppressed? My God.
Just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit. And if
that Trump ran the fuck up, and you're going to do it again and give the tax breaks to the billionaires. Come on.
If we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the
country's going to go bankrupt. You mean like the auto industry and the banking industry under Bush? You mean that? And it took Obama 8 years to fix it, only to get Trump to completely screw it up again. Biden comes in and he fixes it again. Inflation's down, things are going well. Boom, boom, boom. You idiots elect Trump. Now we have a generational problem.
The interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking because we spend a lot of money on defense. But, and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not...
Except for you're not doing that. You're taking them away.
Simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found?
Oh,
some
God,
of the
I can't
crazy
stand this
numbers,
stupid
including
son
the
of a
woman that
bitch.
walked away with about 30 million,
Right.
etc.
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID.
You mean like you guys? It's the same fucking thing. Of course we want people out who are being corrupt. You're being corrupt. We want you out.
While they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from.
Oh, you're just curious as to where it came from. I'm curious as to why you have your freaking coding minions in doing accounting and not forensic accountants. Jesus.
Which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But
now he's just being an asshole. Because he has no idea they're on a fishing expedition.
Investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just, there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from?
I'm wondering where your wealth came from. Because I know you never invented anything.
Mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So.
So you're wondering, or they're stealing? Which is it? We need to know that information, and you're not giving that to us. And I know exactly why, because this is all that fucking shiny object bullshit.
We're looking at, say, we just, if you look at, say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment.
Like your payment, like Trump's payment to Stormy Daniels. Was there a line item on that? Because obviously that was illegal. Any answers from you there, Mr. Musk?
And that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that department...
It's because there's not a do not pay list. They just take it off. Oh my God. This is the fucker we have in charge of our money, of all of our tax monies, the trillions of dollars over 2.5 centuries of the American experiment. This is the guy you wanted? Oh God.
Departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about...
Oh my God, we are not. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, people, he's lying directly to you. Lying.
Known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation, can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. So these,
You know what would be common sense for me? For you not to bring a 4-year-old into the Oval Office. That would be common sense to me, especially when you're talking to the news media. And as much as I don't like President Trump, he deserves better respect than a booger-eating, booger-wiping brat in the House named after your social media platform. I really, that's, you want to,
say like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization, so then you understand the motivations.
Complaint minimization. Is that like the unscheduled deconstruction of a rocket? You just say blown, it blew up. These people are bitching. How do you reconcile it, Mr. Trump? Or sorry, Mr. Musk?
So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain
Boy, that's some next level economics you got going on there, Alonia.
the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything just, they approve all the payments at Treasury.
No, they don't. He is lying to you. This is blatant disregard for truth. It is misleading, it is lying, and it's going to sucker some people in, and y'all are going to get stuck in a position you just don't want to be in. It's coming. Just like I told you, Trump was Musk's bitch. It's the same thing. This is all coming. I'm getting frustrated.
Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that no, actually we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay.
And what they're going to do is impound that money, put it in a slush fund for them to use. It's what's going to happen. It's what's happened in the past when they use the impoundment. Some of y'all weren't listening in history class. I don't know what you were doing. I don't care. But I'm not lying to you. I have no cause nor reason to lie to you. I don't really know many of you. But he is telling you lies. This is unreal.
Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean,
you mean like Social Security? You mean like Medicare, Medicaid, roads, bridges, all the things U.S. aid, all the things that you stopped, the things we care about, the things you don't care about, because profit is your singular movement. That's it. That's it. You have no interest in helping anyone. God, what a fucking liar.
These things, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people?
And you cut the payments off. Today I read a 78-year-old woman over, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly where it was. Sorry about that. 78-year-old woman died because oxygen ran out and there was no more money to get anymore, and she died. It's happening over and over. This is the callousness and cruelness of billionaires. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about anything but money. It's how they became billionaires. You do not get to be a billionaire unless you shit on a whole bunch of people.
And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So,
But just stop it so people die. That's fucking brilliant.
there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know?
Oh my God, here we go again. We've got people in there 150 years old. I've looked at this personally. This is bullshit. Yeah, there's people on file that are 150 years old that are not getting checks. He's lying again. Here comes another pack of lies from a billionaire who doesn't care about you.
Anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out.
Shit isn't funny, Elon. It's not funny. This is not a time for jokes. Be transparent and tell us what's happening.
That's a case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do
But you'll cut off the people that actually do the work to make sure this all gets done. You're brilliant. Economically, you're a goddamn idiot.
receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately. I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this obviously there needs to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, let's if people can retire, with full.
Guys, I'm not sure I can get all the way through this because I know that he's lying. I cannot sit and listen to a man that I know is lying. It is really starting to piss me off, and I'm probably going to fast forward.
Benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire. The most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork.
Why is that? Let me think. Because people are working paycheck to paycheck. My wife's working. She's 68. She's planning to work till 70 or 71. I do this because I don't have the physical ability to do a job at this point that I'm trained to do. We live paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. You're wondering why they're not retiring? Because they still need money, you jackass.
Work is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And what do you mean a mine? There's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then
I thought you were going to make America great again, like it was in the 50s. If you guys would actually spend the money on updating, not shutting down the departments. Do you not understand? I don't know.
The speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine from the federal government. Doesn't that sound crazy? And say, you know what? Instead of working in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else.
First of all, it's not a goddamn mine shaft. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh my God!
And you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way. So anyway, I think to shift from roles that are the total output of goods and services, which means that everyone's very quiet, by the way.
Yeah, no shit, Elon. It's because you're so full of shit that everybody knows you're full of shit. They don't know how to ask a question because you're just lying to them. God.
So don't people normally this quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I've done what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
This isn't funny, dude. Everything's a joke to you because you got $400 billion. You know, most of us don't have shit. And we worked all of our lives just to put a roof over our head.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't
You
believe
didn't come
it.
from
Say
ruby
that
mines in
you're
South
orchestrating a
Africa.
hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public.
Oh, we couldn't ask for a stronger mandate. Hey, why don't we look at something and see what the mandate actually is? Oh, wait a minute. I can tell you that right off the top of my head. 1.3% is how much that man beat Kamala Harris. Yeah. It's not a mandate. They got a 2-seat lead in the House of Representatives and a 1-seat lead in the fucking Senate. This is not a mandate. It's not even close. Fact is, it's one of the closest elections in American history.
The public voted, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the
All
campaign.
right, you guys, I'm done. I can't listen to this jackass lie to you anymore. This is all lies. Remember that it is all lies. This is a coup that is bloodless at this point. They keep pushing this line of ideology on people. It's not going to be a bloodless coup. It's going to get really ugly, and God, I really hate saying that. But here it comes. Every time an oligarch starts talking about monarchies, which is exactly what they want a one person being the pinnacle of power in this country. And the orange turd next to the whatever, I don't even know what Elon Musk is. He's just a fucking goof. But that is what he wants Donald Trump to be. Or, maybe he wants that for himself. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past these egomaniacs. Not at all. Not ever. I can't watch any more of Elon Musk talk. I'm sorry. Go watch it. That's as far as I'm going to go. This is Kevin, Face for Radio, Voice for Print. And you guys have a great evening. Oh, please like and subscribe if you like this content.